Domestic violence is on the rise. Hi, I'm Reverend Andrew Bozeman, and this is On the Wings of Your Mind. Today is Thursday, February 18th, 2021. Last night, I was in a discussion about retirement financing when suddenly the conversation veered off into the epidemic of domestic violence. Since the shutdown due to COVID-19, domestic violence has been accelerating. Now, incomes have been cut off greatly or greatly reduced. Social interaction has been stopped. Businesses are dying. The stress levels are through the roof. So more and more people are slipping into survival mode, which puts us in the mode of fight or flight. And when we're in that state of mind, fight or flight, then rational thinking and decision-making become more and more difficult to maintain. And fuses are very short. So we've got a rise in domestic violence. Please click on the thumbs up button, and if you haven't already done so, please choose to subscribe. Remember, I would love to see your thoughts, comments, questions. If you're viewing this live on Thursday, February 18th at 3 p.m., then you can use the chat box on the right side of the screen. If you are viewing this at any other time, then you're in replay mode, so you can use the comment section below this video. So I'd love to have your thoughts and comments. So we're talking about domestic violence. First of all, what is domestic violence? Well, domestic violence is another name for something called intimate partner violence. That is, acts of violence committed by one person in an intimate relationship against the other person in an intimate relationship. And this can happen in both heterosexual or homosexual, same-sex relationships. In its broadest sense, domestic violence also involves violence against children, violence against teenagers, parents, or even the elderly. The image that pops into the minds of most of us when we hear the words domestic violence is of some guy beating up his wife. But actually, it takes multiple forms, including physical, verbal, emotional, economic, religious, reproductive, and sexual abuse. Want me to go over those again? Physical, mental, emotional, economic, religious, reproductive, and sexual. Now, while most offenders, according to society, tend to be males, women are also perpetrators of domestic violence, often against their children, but also against their male partners or their elderly parents. So it doesn't matter what sex you are, you're possibly risking becoming a domestic violator. So what if you're the victim? Well, if you're being abused in a relationship, there is a nationwide domestic phone number you can call. 1-800-799-SAFE, which is 7233. 1-800-799-7233. That is the nationwide domestic violence hotline. And you can call that if you are in need of help. So if you know someone who might be in an abusive relationship, there are ways that you can help that person. First of all, very importantly, you can listen. Find a time and a place where it's safe for you to talk confidentially with that friend or family member. And let them know that you're concerned about them, you're concerned about their safety, and that you believe them. That you believe them and what they have to tell you. Your belief in them is critical. So many people deny that this is going on. Oh, no, he's a nice guy. He's not doing that. You must believe them. People in abusive relationships often feel alone. Sometimes they even feel like they're overreacting, or maybe they even deserve to be treated this way. So your believing is a powerful means of validation. Your belief is also a form of support. It lets them know that they are not alone, that someone is on their side, that someone else believes that they don't deserve to be treated this way. They do not deserve to be hurt. Remember, abuse is not the victim's fault. Let them know you want to support them and find out how they think you can best support them. What do they think you can do to help them? What would they like you to do to help them? In most communities, there are resources to assist victims of domestic violence. So encourage them to reach out to the community resources. If they don't know how to find help, give them this number. 1-800-799-7233. 1-800-799-7233. That's the nationwide domestic violence hotline. And they will give you the information, or give the person who's calling the information they need about local resources like crisis hotlines, support groups, domestic violence shelters, mental health services. Again, that's 1-800-799-7233. It's important to remember that the people who are inflicting the abuse are not bad people. They're in trouble too. They're not bad people. They are acting out of fear. And that can be expressed as anger, frustration, anxiety, panic, rage, or any other form of negative emotion. They are in pain as well. So they too are victims, and they too need help. Which brings us to the big picture. We got to be aware that all we are doing on the physical plane, all the things we're doing, the phone calls, the shelters, etc., all that is treating the symptoms of domestic violence, is not actually curing domestic violence. Our overriding goal is to actually cure it. We want to cure domestic violence. We want to change the vibration that brings about domestic violence. And in order to do that, that requires us to deal with it at a much higher level than the physical plane. Higher level. All right? So let's look at what we're dealing with. First of all, fear. The level of fear, anxiety, frustration, and panic that exists in our society as a general atmospheric condition is astronomical. It just permeates our entire society. We breathe fear. We feel fear. We hear fear. We see fear. It's coming at us through the media, through conversations, through the behaviors of people around us. Fear seems to permeate everything and everybody. And fear is what we have to cure. Fear. I'm reminded of a very negative experience I had several decades ago with LSD. I found myself surrounded by a deep, dark world filled with hungry demons, and they were looking to feast on me. The only thing going in my favor at that moment was the fact that I was inside of a dome of light, and they were all outside of that dome of light trying to get in. And I couldn't see them because it was so dark outside, but I could feel them. The top of the dome was about 10 feet above me. The width was about 30 feet. So I had a fair amount of safe space around me until the dome began to shrink. It wasn't a rapid shrinking, but I could feel that it was getting smaller. Suddenly I knew that eventually the dome would shrink to the point that I would no longer be protected, and they would have me. I remember tears streaming down my eyes. I remember my body trembling, and there was nothing I could do. I was so afraid. It was only the love of my sister who came to help me that saved me. Now, for many people out there, that dome of protection has already disappeared. They're living in a world where they are at the mercy of the demons. And this exposure to the darkness has been building for a very, very, very long time. So don't look for a quick fix to get rid of it. It's not possible. But rest assured, we can defeat it. We can get rid of it. We can beat it. I'll admit that a quick fix does not exist, but we can defeat this overwhelming fear through determined, disciplined, and focused long-term effort. We can beat it. The only way to defeat the darkness of fear is by building a protective dome of light and love. We can beat it. Light and love conquer the darkness. We can beat it. Light and love. So we must first of all build a dome of light and love around ourselves as individuals. We need to be safe first. We do this by going within and connecting with the source of all light and love, infinite intelligence. You know, protecting ourselves and encasing ourselves in a dome of light and love is just like what you have to do when the oxygen masks drop down in an airplane. You have to protect yourself first so you have enough air to help others. So protect yourself first. Build up the dome of love and light around you. Now, some refer to infinite intelligence as God, but unlike God, infinite intelligence is not out there above it all. Infinite intelligence is within you as you. Within you as you. Remember, you are an individualized expression of infinite intelligence. Yes, you are an individualized expression of infinite intelligence. Therefore, deep within your heart is the peace and power of infinite intelligence. So develop a practice of connecting with the infinite intelligence with you. How? Well, as often as you can during your day, get quiet. Shut out all distractions and go within where you can feel the love, where you can feel the peace, where you can find yourself, the self that is untouched by the stones and arrows of everyday life. Stones and arrows. I'm reminded of the words of the 91st Psalm in the Bible, remembering that God is infinite intelligence. Whoever dwells in this, it says, whoever dwells in the shelter of the Most High will rest in the shadow of the Almighty. I will say of the Lord, He is my refuge and my fortress, my God in whom I trust. Surely He will save you from the fowler's snare and from the deadly pestilence. He will cover you with His feathers, and under His wings you will find refuge. His faithfulness will be your shield and rampart. You will not fear the terror of night, nor the arrow that flies by day, nor the pestilence that stalks in the darkness, nor the plague that destroys at midday. 1,000 may fall at your side, 10,000 at your right hand, but it will not come near you. It will not come near you. Build that dome. The work to beat fear, to build your dome of love and light, is not something you're going to do in a few days. It requires concentrated and constant effort for the foreseeable future until it becomes an integral part of your being. What's important here is that getting your mind to believe and accept that infinite intelligence in you, there is your power, getting your mind to accept, understand, accept, and believe get your mind to believe that, once you get your mind to accept that, once you get your mind in gear and know that you and infinite intelligence are one, then the awareness of love, the love of infinite intelligence begins to be felt. And as that love begins to be felt, it expands within you. And the electromagnetic field that your heart emanates out from your body will vibrate more and more and more with that love, with that light. And then those around you will be enveloped in that love and that light. And as that love grows, fear will begin to dissipate within you. Fear will begin to dissipate around you. Fear will begin to dissipate within and around those who are touched and enveloped by your magnetic field, your electromagnetic field. That's how we're going to beat the fear. That's how we're going to cure domestic violence. We can do it. Remember, all the physical actions we take only deal with the symptoms, but we can cure it, but only with the power of love. And that power must come from deep within us, for we are individualized expressions of infinite intelligence, and infinite intelligence is love. Let's close with prayer. Thank you, infinite intelligence, for bringing us together in this life so we may become spiritual warriors and joining the work we have come here to do. Thank you, infinite intelligence, for bringing us into this space of awareness and a deeper understanding of ourselves and our relationship to life and infinite intelligence. Thank you for showing us who we really are. We open our minds and hearts to the truth of our being. We are the children of God. We are individualized expressions of infinite intelligence. And because we are part of the greater whole, we are beginning to understand our value to the continuity of life on this planet. As we become channels of your power, infinite intelligence, we can feel your presence within ourselves and within our lives more and more. We know that as we feel your presence within our lives every day, we will rise, because we are no longer cut off from you by being immersed in the darkness of fear, anger, and the pain of unforgiveness. So we are now restoring our connection through the grace of forgiveness, knowing that as we learn to forgive ourselves for the pain we have caused to ourselves, and as we learn to forgive others who have inflicted a pain upon us, our connections will grow stronger, and our lives will grow happier and healthier and more prosperous. And for this, we are truly grateful. As above, so below. As within, so without. And so it is. Amen. Again, thank you for watching. Please click on the thumbs up button below the video. And if you haven't already done so, please choose to subscribe. Remember, I'd love to see your comments, thoughts, and questions. You can use the comment section down below this video. So this is Thursday, February 18th, and I will be back on Monday. So I hope you have a great weekend. I want to thank you very much for spending time with me. Remember, I am Reverend Andrew Bozeman, and this has been On the Wings of Your Mind.